Right, let's talk about stress at work. How do you manage stress at work? I mean, stress at work is one of the most common reasons why people tend to take time off work, especially long sickness absences. We can have people off work for up to 6 months just down to stress. And stress is one of the reasons why people end up having symptoms like depression and anxiety, as well as conditions such as stress-induced psychosis. Now, stress-induced psychosis is basically a psychotic episode where you start having abnormal behavior, abnormal thoughts, you start having delusions, such as maybe you might think that, God is punishing you for something that you did, or you might think that the devil is coming to your house the next day to punish you. And you might start seeing hallucinations where basically you might start seeing people that are not there. You might see, for example, a dead cat and no one else can see this dead cat. Or you might start hearing voices, voices where basically people are telling you, you need to go and run into the streets naked, for example. So these are thoughts and perceptions that are really out of norm, out of touch with reality. So that's an example of stress-induced psychosis, and it really has to take intense, extreme stress for you to have stress-induced psychosis. Also, it depends on your personality type. Are you personality type A or personality type B? Now, with personality type A, this tends to be people that tend to be more aggressive, they tend to be more rushed in what they do. Whereas with personality type B, they tend to be more calm, more patient, and more controlled in what they do. So personality type B people tend to have better coping strategies than those who have personality type A. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what personality type am I? Am I a personality type A person, or am I a personality type B person? And it tells you how would you manage stress if ever you face stress at work. And what are the reasons of stress at work? I mean, stress at work can be due to a whole number of reasons apart from just having personality type. It could be due to the fact that you don't have sufficient training for the kind of job that you're doing, and so you find yourself having to keep up with the pace of work. There could also be a bullying culture at work, or you might find that same people at work are in cliques and you might find yourself isolated as well. You also might find that you're not getting enough support from your colleagues at work, or even your line manager is not giving you the amount of support that you need at work. It could also be that you're trying to meet unrealistic deadlines all the time, which might mean having to work overtime, as well as an increased workload which you find not able to cope with. And that's also in tandem with maybe you might have underlying health conditions outside of work. You might be someone that's diabetic and you need to check your blood sugars all the time, or you might be someone that has an underlying mental health problem, and this can also contribute to your stress at work. So there are several reasons that can, cause stress at work. I mean, in terms of managing stress at work, there are several support measures that you can adopt. In some cases, you might find that you actually need some time off work, especially if you're in a toxic environment, or if you feel that you're in a bubble that's about to burst. You need that time away from that environment, that space to really look after yourself, to meditate and think, is this something that I need to go back to, or what do I need to do with my time off work? I mean, time off work can be an initial 2 weeks, for example, and in some cases can be extended to a few weeks. And that's if you assume that nothing really has changed in that 2 weeks and you're going back to that environment. So also you have to consider other options. If you cannot afford to take time off work, if that's feasible, can I do reduced hours of work? So for example, if you're someone that does full-time, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or for those people who work weekends, you might consider, can I do reduced hours? But that would come at a cost, because you have to bear in mind that that would mean reduced pay as well, or cutting off your days, which also would mean reduced pay. But that's also looking after your mental health. I always say to everyone, your health comes first before work. You're replaceable. If you're not able to come back to work ever again, your company will replace you straight away. So always look after your health first. Also look at the option of work from home. Again, you might be in a type of job where it's practical for you to be able to work from home. So that means setting up of IT equipment that allows you to work from home. Or there's the option of doing some days from home and doing some days in the office. So what some people do, they work 3 days from home, 2 days in the office, and they find that working from home actually helps with their productivity. They find that it increases their productivity, they're less stressed, they're able to actually meet some of the deadlines that they felt that were unrealistic in the office. So really it's a bargain of, can I work from home, or can I work in the office, or can I do both? Now, some work organizations have what they call an employee assistance program. An employee assistance program is basically meant to help any employee that's struggling at work, whether it's stress, depression, or any mental health problems you might have. There are also organizations that can help with stress at work. Like, there's a service that I usually recommend people to. It's called Remploy. Remploy is an access to mental health work service. And it usually supports people at work for a period of 6 to 9 months, and it helps with coping strategies that enables you to stay at work. So that avoids you having to take prolonged time off work just because you don't have those coping strategies. So those are the sort of organizations that can help. Outside of work, you can also access counseling through your doctor, or you can go for private counseling that can help deal with stress. Also, what some people don't tend to realize is that your line manager is also there to offer support. Your line manager is not just there to check if you're absent from work, or if you've come late from work, or if you're not performing well at work. You can have informal chats with your line manager where basically you can tell your manager, look, I don't think I'm doing well in this particular area. I need more support, I need help. Or you can tell your line manager about how you're struggling in your personal life, and that really depends on the relationship you have with your line manager. But do remember that your line manager is there for support. Also, you can have what we call a buddy. Some people have work buddies where basically these are people that help them settle in, especially if you're new to the job. A buddy can show you the ropes, show you what the do's and don'ts of the work environment, explain the work culture to you, any issues that you're struggling with. The buddy has been there for maybe a few months or a few years, and the buddy has got more experience than you and is able to help. You can also consider having a mentor. A mentor is usually on the higher level of organization, and a mentor would usually be the person that would really sit you down and talk about your career goals in terms of short-term, medium-term and long-term career goals. Because sometimes it can be quite stressful if you feel you're in a work environment where basically you're not really progressing and you don't seem to have any career goals, or you do have career goals and you feel they're not being achieved. So that's where you should actually look for a mentor. And that's one of the things that can help reduce stress at work. Also think about occupational health. Now, occupational health is a service that aims to help people in terms of giving them the tools that will help them to stay at work, as well as work adjustments that would help prevent you from having to take time off work. So occupational health is a very holistic approach, and what occupational health person will do will sit you down, do an assessment, and look at the areas where you feel that you might be struggling, how your work is impacting your health, and how your health is impacting your work, and vice versa. So basically, all you have to do is go to your line manager or your HR manager and just ask them, please, can you refer me to occupational health for an assessment? And occupational health is not there to get you sacked. And that's usually a myth, that if I go to occupational health, that means my company is trying to sack me. No, occupational health is there to keep you at work. And what about lifestyle? Like I said, think about your lifestyle, meditation such as music, going for walks, a lot of things that you can do to calm you down at work. What hobbies do you like doing? Is it badminton? Is it playing football? Is it golf? And don't forget having that support from family and friends. What a lot of people tend to do, they tend to bottle in a lot of their stress, and really you have to let it all out. And there are lots of things that you can do to help with stress at work. So if you have any further questions regarding stress at work, please feel free to drop any comments below. There are sort of links that I will drop in my description page that can also help you managing stress at work. And if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel.